All right. All right. Hopefully, you guys are enjoying some fall festivities in your house, maybe some warm soup at this hour. I just finished having some. It was great. I'm here at the Atlanta News First Plus desk, the First Alert desk. We love having you guys. And hopefully, you guys are already hearing me. It seems that you guys are able to hear me. We have a lot going on tonight to tell you about, including we are on top of some breaking news right now out of southeast Atlanta. We have our reporter Yasmina Alston covering a shooting that we learned about around 4 p.m. Atlanta police told us that 5 people were shot in a neighborhood. I'm going to show you some video now from that area while I bring you some of the details. Right now, still very preliminary. You can see there's a number of police officers out there. They have the caution tape blocking off both sides of the neighborhood right now. We're told that 4 of the people made it to the hospital, but one of the individuals who was shot was grazed by a bullet and refused to go to the hospital. So right now, police are working this out. This is the very beginning stages. So right now, we're trying to find out what led up to this shooting and if this was a domestic situation, if this was an isolated situation, all unknowns. But we do have our reporter, Yasmina Alston, out at the scene right now. She's the one who gave us these pictures. And she's going to be in our show at 10 o'clock tonight, and she's going to have those details. And hopefully we'll hear more from investigators at that time. So again, if you're just tuning in at this moment, we are on top of a shooting in southeast Atlanta. 5 people were shot. 4 of them went to the hospital. One of them was grazed by a bullet and decided not to go to the hospital. So again, we will have that update for you. We'll have a live report from her at 10 o'clock on Peachtree TV, and on WANF at 11 o'clock we will have Yasmina Alston as well. All right, moving right along, we do have another story. This is an update to a story that we told you about last week. This involves a father who is also a stuntman, and he was driving along Interstate 285 on Tuesday with his family, and his 13-year-old daughter, his 8-week-old infant, were both killed in the crash along with him. It was just absolutely devastating. And now we learned that his 10-year-old son, who was also involved in that crash, who made it to the hospital but was fighting for his life over the last few days, unfortunately succumbed to his injuries. We did have our reporter, Rachel Aragon. She did speak with the family and his mother, let me just make sure I have the pronunciation on his name really quick. The father, Taraja is his name, Taraja Ramses. We spoke to his mom, and we're going to let you hear from her because she's shared just how much he loved being a father, and that's really what stood out to me from this story. Now, again, we didn't have the information at the time about his 10-year-old son that we have now. That's the latest update. But just so that you can hear from his family, I do want to share that with you tonight.
So we talked movies a lot, everything that made a great movie, and he just loved it.
Achille Ramses says her son's love for movies, and especially his family, is something she'll never forget.
He was an amazing, tremendous father. He loved his children.
41-year-old Taraja Ramses was killed in a crash Tuesday night in DeKalb County. His 13-year-old daughter, Sundari, known for her bright smile, also killed in the crash, along with his newborn Fujibo. The wreck involving a tractor-trailer, injuring several of his other children riding in the car.
He did so much with what he had.
Taraja was a real-life superhero to his children, a stuntman in blockbuster films like the Avengers films and Black Panther.
He was so proud of his daddy being in the film, and so when they took the school picture, he did his Wakanda Forever, and a tribute to his daddy.
Taraja was a stunt double for Richard Roundtree and an expert in set design, but Achilles says what she's most proud of is the example her son has set for his children.
I think it's special, and for them to know that he had these great dreams and he lived most of them.
So again, just absolutely devastating. His family has a GoFundMe account set up where they have raised $80,000. I checked it shortly before I came on the First Alert desk to bring you this update, but just absolutely tragic story there, and to learn that his son also just passed away this weekend. Heart-wrenching. So, of course, those are the stories we don't like to share, but we want to just make sure that we shared that update with you. And just another reminder, be safe out there on the roads. The holidays are among us right now. More people are getting out and about, having a good time, and just make sure that you have your head on a swivel at all times. All right, so if we learn anything else as it relates to that story, we will definitely share it with you. We did reach out, back out to the family today to try to see if they had any remarks. If they do decide to comment any further on this, you'll hear it right here on Atlanta News First. All right, I do want to move on to a lighter story. This is just a good update. We always like to know when more jobs are coming around to our area, and UPS is actually hosting a hiring frenzy ahead of the holidays. I was mentioning that the holidays are around. I'm really excited. I'm a November baby, so every 4 years my birthday lands on Thanksgiving, but this time we're talking about UPS and how they're going to celebrate the holidays, and it's hopefully maybe hiring one of you. They are hiring a number of people this holiday. So let me just talk about some of those numbers that we're going to see here locally. UPS tells us that they are going to be hiring 7,000 people across the state of Georgia for seasonal positions to make sure that they can keep up with all of the gifts that people are going to be shipping, and 1,800 people right here in Metro Atlanta. So they are going to have this hiring event at a number of different locations so that they can make sure that they have staffing in all of the locations that they need it. So as you know, UPS is based right here in Metro Atlanta, and they're going to have those jobs already up and running and available for you to apply to as well. So make sure you head to our website if you are interested in applying for any of these seasonal jobs, because they know that there's going to be a major holiday rush in Atlanta, Doraville, and Roswell, and that's really where they are targeting some of these jobs. So make sure you head to atlantanewsfirst.com. So those are a few of the stories that I just wanted to share with you tonight. Nothing too groundbreaking here, just an update, a breaking news story that we're on top of, and a hiring event that is hopefully something you can take advantage of. So make sure that you tune in to our newscast in a little bit. But I know that the main thing you guys all want to hear about is the weather. We have been dealing with some serious cold conditions outside, and this is Lake Lanier. You can see it's very calm out there.
It is.
But we are dealing with a drought, Cutter.
Yeah, in fact, that Lake Lanier camera, when we look at it during the daytime, we've actually adjusted it over the past couple of weeks to show you the lake levels are low, more of the shore showing up. We could really use some rain, and finally, there is a chance of rain in the first alert forecast. Bigger changes on the way. Not necessarily a drought buster. In fact, rain, not necessarily, it really isn't a guarantee at this point, but it is in the forecast the possibility of some much needed moisture by weeks. And again, thank you for tuning in, for watching ANF Plus. I'm First Alert Meteorologist Cutter Martin. We're streaming live across many platforms this evening at AtlantaNewsFirst.com, First Alert Weather app, the Atlanta News First app, Roku, Amazon Fire Stick. Also, right now, I'm watching the YouTube feed. Atlanta News First is the account to like and to follow. If you would like to view the feed and answer, or ask, I should say, any weather questions, address any weather comments, concerns, Atlanta News First, navigate there over on YouTube, and I'll keep that feed up while we're streaming, and occasionally kind of pander off to the left and answer any questions that may be coming in. Let's take you live outside right now. In another sense, we showed you the live look from Lake Lanier. This is what it feels like outside right now. 62 in Canton. These were your 8 o'clock temperatures, so about 9-10 minutes ago they came into our system, so fairly recent. 52 LaGrange, 59 Covington, 56 Locust Grove, mid to upper 50s in Athens, 53 Carrollton, Canton, 62 Gainesville, up around Lake Lanier, right around 61, 50 of course higher elevations up in Blairsville. So it is milder than yesterday evening, at least by a couple of degrees. Yesterday evening, milder than the evening before. In fact, here is that 24-hour temperature change, and notice yesterday was kind of a jump up in temperature, and certainly again this evening we're noticing that temperatures are trending warmer. It is taking a little bit longer to cool, especially across Metro Atlanta and also the rest of North Georgia. So if you're going out this evening, maybe you have a last-minute errand or two for the couple of stores that are still open, or taking the dog out for that final walk, temperatures will continue to cool. I think the city of Atlanta back in the upper 50s by 10 p.m., mid-50s 1-2 a.m., and we should slide in just under 50 degrees out the door tomorrow morning, 6 to 7 a.m., Lots of clear sky tonight, giving way to lots of sunshine just after sunrise tomorrow. So during that morning commute, it's looking bright and shiny. Keep in mind this time of year, it's especially bright because of the sun angle and the time of year, and of course the solstice coming up. And we will be expecting it to be a bright and sunny morning. So if you're driving maybe eastbound on I-20 tomorrow morning, right around sunrise, make sure you have the sunglasses, the shade down, because that's about the only impact. Lots of road glare tomorrow, always there this time of year, and that will be again out the door tomorrow morning. Let's talk about low temperatures. More 40s than anything else, even across the metro. 45 Sugar Hill, that's your low temperature, coolest point, coolest number of the morning in that community. 42 McDonough, 44 Redan, 44 in Douglasville, Palmetto in the lower 40s, Kennesaw, Roswell, Milton, Alpharetta, down to Smyrna, Marietta included in there. On the low to mid 40s, we get inside the perimeter, though, I-285, and it will be a little bit milder. I think still 40s, cooler than 50 degrees, but not low to mid 40s, more like mid to upper 40s across the core of the metro. Only spot that's, likely to get back into the 30s, that'll be up in Blairsville, on up into the Blue Ridge area, Ellijay, Clayton, up in Rabin County, Hiawassee, Blue Ridge, those areas, mountaintops, the higher elevations of those communities, upper 30s. Could be some patchy frost. Dalton at 40, Rome. So Floyd, Chattooga counties also on the cooler side tomorrow morning. Maybe some upper 30s sprinkled in there. Most, though, in the low to mid 40s outside of the core of the metro. And as we just showed you, mid to upper 40s across the city of Atlanta and adjacent areas out the door tomorrow morning. First Alert Weather app, a great tool to have. Again, if you want to get the latest check of the forecast tomorrow morning, you can do so in the app. You can even stream Atlanta News First in the morning with First Alert meteorologists Ella Dorsey, Courtney Jacobazzi, and Rodney Harris without even leaving the home, without even going to your TV, without even getting out of bed. You can get the full forecast there in the app. Hour by hour is available there as well. And do notice how we warm pretty quickly. 9 a.m., lots of sunshine, mid to upper 50s, mid to upper 60s, though, 11 a.m. to noon. And as we get into the middle of the afternoon, temperatures rebounding back to about where we were today. Today's high temperature, 75, going for about 75, 76. For a high temperature tomorrow, we will wake up to a few more clouds tomorrow morning, giving way to more sunshine through the day. There will be more clouds across the state, so if you are headed to areas further south, maybe you're headed to Albany, Georgia, down to Columbus, down in South Georgia as well, we will be expecting more cloud cover there, and for a time it was looking like this cloud cover was going to sneak northward into metro Atlanta and kind of cap how warm we're going to get tomorrow. Now it's looking like clouds will stay a little further south, more sunshine. Obviously, we bumped up your high temperatures just a couple of degrees for tomorrow's forecast over the past couple of days. And a reminder, even warmer weather is on the way. Warming trend has already started. Continue today with a high temperature in the mid-70s, kind of plateauing a little bit tomorrow, mid-70s, still kind of the rule, and then we will warm it up even further as we go into our Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. In fact, here's a look at high temperatures across the area through the work week. 76 Monday afternoon, 79 Tuesday afternoon. I've bumped up Wednesday and Thursday afternoons to 80 degrees, and then we have a front move in. So more clouds with Thursday. Despite that, I think still getting close to 80. And then clouds give way to a chance of rain Friday, a little cooler because of that. And then some cooler air filtering back in as we get into the weekend. Going to keep a slight rain chance in the forecast as well. Saturday and Sunday, not looking like a washout any of those days. Friday has the greatest rain chance, followed by some drier conditions as we get into the weekend, but still a spotty rain chance, and certainly the possibility that clouds will linger back with us as we get into the Saturday and Sunday time frame. Again, here's a look at rain chances day by day, kind of a similar extended forecast, but focusing in on the chance of rain. And you'll notice no single day is going to be a washout. However, we are going to bring up that rain chance Friday, at least scattered rain, though could end up being a little bit more widespread. And as confidence grows, if data remains consistent with the fact that rain could become more widespread, we'll bump up your rain chance, and you may see a first alert, a heads up added to that Friday forecast, letting you know that rain is more likely to impact your plans. But in the early stages of that forecast, not looking like a total washout, but something we'll be watching here pretty closely for you. And then Saturday, Sunday, we'll keep the clouds, spotty rain chance, and cooler air does filter back into North Georgia and metro Atlanta. In fact, it may remain even chillier on into the early portion of the following work week. And on that note, want to remind you, 10-day forecast is available in the First Alert weather app and at AtlantaNewsFirst.com. That forecast will carry you all the way into not this work week, but the following first half of the following work week. And you can also stream our newscast. Coming up in just a little bit there, a reminder, Atlanta News First is on Peachtree TV, Atlanta CW affiliate, starting at 10 p.m. And then we're back on Atlanta News First, WANF, for the late news, starting at 11. Full forecast coming up then. And with this time change, I get data in the Weather Center an hour earlier. So we're going to start having some newer data coming in even before the start of the 11 o'clock newscast. And any refinement to that forecast will pass it along to you, AtlantaNewsFirst.com, and the First Alert weather app, and of course on Atlanta News First and Peachtree TV. We'll leave you with a peaceful look, kind of a dark look, but a peaceful one at a very calm Lake Lanier. Have a wonderful evening, a great last little bit of your weekend. Full forecast and latest news headlines coming your way starting at 10 p.m. on Peachtree TV.